Welcome back to our channel. You can hear the excavator running. Hasn't run for a while and started the first time, so that's good news. I went through, checked all the fluids, I greased it, and this morning I cleaned up all of the wood and bunks, and it's all been stacked over here nice and neat. And if I can, I'll try to put in a before and after, because before, when all this wood was stacked in here, we've got 2x that are 8s and 10s in that pile. This is all mostly 1-inch long boards. There are some 3x5s in here which are braces stock. This pile is all 8x8 long ones, except for the very bottom, which we've discussed before. This pile is mostly 8x8 12s, and there are some 14s in there, and there are some 4x8s, which are plates. We have a pile of short boards here, 8 and 10 foot 8x8s, and some of the stuff's pretty junky, but I just sawed it in that size just to get it done. That stuff in the back is all supposed to be resawn. Another long pile of 1-inch board. Another pile of short boards. Some more 8x8s and 12x10s in there to be resawn. This is a pile of 2-inch 2x8s and 2x6s, and there's some 2x4s in there. Those are rafters and floor joists. That's 2 piles that I sawed last year, along with these 2 piles and that one down there. So I think we have enough lumber here to build our barn, and the current piles, which are pretty small. This stake with the red flagging is the center of our 60-foot diameter round pen, and it's also the center of, there's another railing system around that, and I'm going to be doing a video on the whole round pen thing. But that, this morning we laid out the center. It lines up with the center of the barn, make it sort of symmetrical. And this morning I am going to take the excavator, and there's a bunch of rocks in here. I got to clean all of those out. There's actually a little depression where there was a stump right the back end of the excavator, between that and the tractor. I'm going to dig that topsoil out and put in 2 or 3 buckets loads of sand and put the topsoil back on and try to fill that hole in. And then I'm also going to start, I'm going to get started, I don't know how far I'll get, pushing over trees here and getting ready to form a little clearing in there for the burn pile, to burn all of that debris and that pile over there. So yeah, I'm gonna get the chainsaw after lunch and cut off the stumps and buck these, not the firewood, but everything else is going to be cut to 13 feet for railing stock for a round pen. So these 3 pine trees, and there's a maple over there. So I'm gonna clean these all up, limb them, and then buck them all to 13 feet. Well, the camera ran out of battery, but so I put the forks in the tractor, got all that red maple tree out for firewood, and I got everything set up over here for sawing. So that's what I'm going to do next, is saw up these logs into 2x6s. And as you can see, they're not great logs. They're not straight, and I'm just going to get whatever I can out of them. I need 50 just to do the 60-foot round pen, and then probably another 50 or 60 or 70 to do the next part of that, which you will see in the round pen build video coming up. So I'm going to film some of me sawing up some of these logs. That's the next step. Well, there's 3. They not the very good quality, but that was one of the top logs, and I don't really care because it's just the railings for the paddock. So I'm going to peel off all the bark, and I'm going to saw the rest of those up, and I'm going to turn you off because it's the same thing over and over and over, and maybe I'll show you the last log I saw it. All right, hold on. All right, it's the end of the day for me. It's like October 12th or something, and it's like mid 70s. Unbelievable. All right, I got started cleaning this out in here. You can see I got stumps, and I've pulled out a lot of pine trees, and there's still some red maples in there that are down, which I have to get. But so I took the logs from the pine trees and I resawed them. I sawed them today. These are railings for our round pen. That marks the center of the round pen. I needed 45, I have 43, and so tomorrow I'll take down a few more trees and I'll get all, can you even see that, all that I need. So I think it's pretty cool that that's how much is that pile of lumber? Those are 13 footers actually, 2x6s, and I got them for free. They're it's just all the labor and equipment that we've accumulated allows me to produce that stuff in an afternoon. So tomorrow is another day of working in there, clearing some stuff, and then a couple of days we're going to get to actually starting this round pen for the horses. So, well, good morning. I wasn't going to film this, and I got started, and I thought, well, maybe somebody might want to watch it. Somebody might want to be interested in it. So I stopped to change the blade, and I said maybe I should go get the camera. This is the tree that blew down last year and landed on top of the brush pile. At some point I will cut that tree that the wind blew over, but I'm not even worried about it because it's still alive, and I've been putting off dealing with it because it was kind of a dangerous situation, bucking the stump off and cutting it to length. But today this morning I did that, and I got it out with the excavator, and I probably should have shown all of that, but I didn't. So I'm going to go show you the stump that came off of this, and then we're going to cut this into 2x6s for more railing material for our paddocks, horse paddocks. So hold on, let me go show you the stump. All right, of course there's a stump on top of it, but it's this giant stump here, and I tried to knock dirt off of it as best I could. The excavator can move it around, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's enormous. It's too heavy for the tractor to move, and we're making good progress on clearing a spot for a burn pile. I got obviously these logs here to saw up this morning, but it's gonna, those 2 pine trees are gonna go, and then it's gonna just clean out all the rest of the hardwoods in there and this mess here, and I think that'll be big enough for a burn pile. But today's project is to get these logs sawn up and clean this area out completely so that we have room to lay out and build our paddocks. So that's what we're up against. Let's go saw a log. All right, I've made a couple of cuts already before I change the blade. This is actually a 14 footer, and we only need like a little over 12 feet for the railings. So as I talked about in my sawmill basics, I tried to do an opening face that was about 6 inches. It's not quite, but it's close, because this log has a bunch of taper to it. So I'll be able to get a 2x6 out of that. And that was the last cut. That was this cut here that gave me that. So I'm actually going to, let me take you around to the other side. And you can see that opening face there is also, I can get a 2x6 out of that. So that's how that cut got determined. So we're about like 18 or 19 inches. And if we come over here to the scale, it's hard to see here. So we have about 18 or 19 inches on one face. And the 8/4 scale here marked out in 8ths. So it looks to me, let's see, and it's all set up there. The 8 is on the 2. So if we saw it to 19 inches, I can get 2x out of that. So I can't get 19 in that direction, but I can get 19 in this direction. So that means I can cut this in this direction at 2-inch increments and get cuts that way. So that means that I want to saw from here to here. I want to end up with 12 1/8 so that I can cut them in half and get 2 6-inch pieces. So when I flip it the next time, it's going to be I'm going to be sawing around 18.5 inches or so, because I end up with a 12-inch and 12 1/8, 14 1/4, 16 3/8, and 18.5. That's gonna, so when I flip it, that's the number I'm going for. So 16. So I have to take two more 2-inch boards off of this. And I think I'm going to actually take them off of this side down here. I think that's the plan, because this is mostly good except for the end and down here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this, slide this off, and when I get to that side, I'm going to take 2 boards off of that. So 19 inches works over here, but there's a little sweep in the log. So I actually had to cut it at 17 7/8, which is the next increment down on the scale. So you just have to make adjustments along the way. I'll take that slab off and then we'll flip it and take 2 cuts. All right, just about out of battery, but you can see I got the slabs off. I can get 2 2x6s out of those, which is excellent. And that ended up being 12 1/8, and I took a cut down the middle, which is 1/8 inch kerf. So those are 2 6-inch by whatever they are. So the next thing I'm going to do is flip them up on their edge, flip them 90 degrees, and use the scale, the 8/4 scale on the sawmill, and just cut all of those up into 2x6s. That's the next step. All right, so we ended up getting 16 2x6s, full 2x6s out of the center of that. Plus, I don't know, there's probably, let's see, 2, 4, 5, 6. So there's going to be about 21 16s out of this one log. That's pretty good. I need about, I don't know, maybe a little over twice that amount to do the round, the outside part of our paddock. There you have it. It's the end of the day. I'm going in. Thanks for watching. I hope you find this interesting. Please consider subscribing if you haven't, and leave a comment. We try to respond to all of them. So there you have it. Thanks for watching.